Welcome to Rocky River Public Library's Tech Tips. Today we'll be looking at one of our research tools, Novelist Plus. Novelist Plus is a database for teen and adult readers, including fiction and nonfiction titles. You can access this research database from home to find your next great read or audiobook listen. We'll get started by heading to the library's webpage, which is rrpl.org. From our homepage, you will want to go to Research Tools, which is located in the middle of our top navigation toolbar. When you hover your cursor over this option, you'll see Research Tools A to Z, as well as Research Tools Subject. You can access Novelist Plus from either of these links. If you were to use Tools by Subject, once you click on that, you would click on Books and Literature, which jumps you down to these options, and you would choose Novelist Plus. If you were to access this from the A to Z option, you would click on Research Tools A to Z, and then choose N in this alphabetical listing to jump down to Novelist Plus. Please note there is a Novelist Plus for K through 8. This is specifically titles for children and teens in kindergarten through 8th grade. Today we'll be looking at Novelist Plus, which is for older readers and adults. So click on Novelist Plus, and then you should be prompted to sign in using your library card information. You should put in your full library card without any spaces or letters if that's on your card, and then put in your password, which should be your PIN number, typically consisting of 4 numbers. If you need any assistance with your library card, such as resetting your PIN, you can call us at the library for assistance, and we'd be happy to help you. There's also an option here that if you have forgotten your password, you can link here and have information sent to your email address for assistance. So once you have your library card number and PIN or password submitted, you will then be taken to the Novelist homepage, which should look like this. You'll see there are a lot of different options on the Novelist homepage for information, and today we'll just be looking at some very basic ways to use this. It is quite a robust database with a lot of really great tools on here, which perhaps we'll dive into deeper in another tech tip. But for just a basic introduction today, we'll be looking at how to use our search bar here to look for book titles and audiobooks. Now you'll see the search bar at the top of the page, and you'll see there's a drop-down box here. It defaults to keyword, and it also gives you some suggestions for how to use the search bar, such as here for keyword, describe a book, example, Japan 1930 women. The other options for searching are keyword, title, author, series, and narrator. Narrator is specifically for audiobooks. So we'll start with keyword as our first example, and as you'll see in the search bar, it says Japan 1930 women is an example. So if you're looking for a book on a specific time period or with some specific locations, this would be a great place to use keyword. Now for today's example, we can do 1943 Germany. If perhaps we're looking for some World War II titles, this might be a good option. And you'll hit search and you'll see quite a few options come up. We actually have 370 for 1943 Germany keywords. And it sorts them by books, audiobooks, series, and authors. You'll see there's also some additional limiters on the left-hand side that will let you refine your results, including the audience, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, the publication date, and the genre. For example, if we were just looking for teen books, and we just wanted fiction, and we wanted something published recently, let's say within the last 10 years or so, we can choose those limiters and then hit update results. And here we'll see a more concise list of teen fiction titles that are published since 2011, which took that large list down to just 4 options. You'll also see linked title read-alikes, author read-alikes, popularity, which is based on reviews on Goodreads, as well as the accelerated reader listings and the Lexile listings, as these are teen books that might be helpful for you. And you'll also be able to look at audiobooks using these limiters. And here you'll see the narrator listed, as I mentioned before, as a limiter or a search term. So that's the basic function of keyword searching. Next, let's look at title. Title would be if you specifically knew the title of the book you were looking for, or a good portion of it. So for our example, we'll use The Dutch House by Anne Patchett. It should give you a suggestion if the title is in the database, and you can click on that suggestion before you finish typing in the whole title if it pops up. And there we go. Sometimes you'll have a little quirk there, but if you just hit search again, it should give you what you're looking for. So for a title page, you will see for this record the title, the author, when the book was published, as well as some other important descriptions and terms, such as genre, character, storyline, tone, writing style, and media mentions, which basically is a listing of when this book was either discussed on a TV show or perhaps on the radio. So you can see this was discussed on NBC's Late Night with Seth Meyers in June 2020, as well as the NBC Today Show in October 2019. It'll also list popular celebrity book clubs, such as this was a title for Read with Jenna Bush Hager, her book club. If you scroll down, you'll also see an aggregation of critical reviews, including if it was a starred review, and this one was a few different starred reviews. And you'll see some different options using those terms that we saw earlier at the top for how to search for more books like this. In addition, you'll also see to the right on any book title page, suggested read-alikes for this title. If you hover your mouse, you'll be able to see a short description of this recommendation, as well as why, under reason, this book is suggested as a read-alike to The Dutch House. If you're interested in one of these books, you can click on the title or the image of the book, and it will jump to that title. And again, you'll see the same listings, including book appeal terms and the reviews. Additionally, you can click on the tab for audiobooks. If there's an audiobook for this title, it'll give you information here, including the narrator, how long the audiobook is, and you can even look at audiobook listen-alikes. There's also a More About This Book tab, which will give you publisher information, as well as some links to the different tags, such as subject headings and characteristics, as well as the different publishing formats. So you'll see the numbers for the ISBN numbers for paperback and hardcovers. Finally, the tab of lists and articles will give you some different options of where this material has been mentioned or discussed, including award-winning lists, book discussion guides, and even additional multimedia content. So this one links to an author video from the Miami Book Fair. So Novelist is a great way to just find additional information and resources for book titles as well as authors. So if we were to search by an author, it would be very similar to how we searched for title. If we had a specific author we were looking for, we could type in their last name and it'll give us a suggestion. So it's suggesting Barbara Kingsolver, but I would like to look at Stephen King. So you'll see some suggestions here, and we'll click on this first option for Stephen King. The author page will give you a description of the author, what they're most known for, what sort of genres they tend to write in typically, as well as tone, pacing, typical writing style. So similar to the titles, you'll then get a list of books for the author, and these can be sorted by a variety of ways. It will default to date newest publications, but you can also sort by the oldest publications or popularity. And again, the popularity is from Goodreads reviews. You'll see it'll tell you in the fine print here how many reviews that star rating has been compiled from. Just like with our title read-alikes, you'll also get author read-alike suggestions. And here you'll see that on the right-hand side, just as we saw before. And you can also click any of these read-alike lists by viewing all to see a printable list. And again, just like we saw with our book title read-alikes, for our author read-alikes, you'll also get a reason why our novelist professionals think that this author would be appealing to you if you like Stephen King. So we'll go back and look at those last two search options, including series, which is a great option if you are reading a book and you're not sure where to go next in the series. So for our example, we'll look at a teen series. You can type in the title series. It should suggest here for you. We'll look at Divergent. So click on that option, and it should take us to the page. And here you'll see Divergent Trilogy with the series author, all of those same terms that we saw before. And then you'll notice that it gives the publishing date and the number here in the series listing. So you'll see 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th. Although you'll notice this doesn't have a number next to it, as it's a little bit of an extra bonus book in the series. And just like the other options, you also will get a series read-alike in your right-hand side. And this is going to give you all of those same great reasonings as you did before. And you'll be able to see why novelists think you might like the Hunger Games trilogy if you like the Divergent trilogy. Again, more about this series, just like more about this author or more about this title, will give you some additional information. And finally, we'll look at narrator. And this is specifically for audiobooks. So if you were perhaps interested in a memoir read by the author and you knew the author, you could search here. Or if you have a narrator that you particularly love and you would just like to listen to anything that they read, you could type it in here. So for our example, we'll look at David Grohl, as he recently had a memoir and he read the audiobook. So we can type that in and it will show us here the storyteller. And as you can see, it lists narrator as the author. It tells us the duration of these audiobooks, and it will tell us the same genre and tone that we saw earlier, as well as audio characteristics, since it's an audiobook, and those same media mentions. So those are the 4 basic ways that you can search in Novelist and get some really great information on titles as well as read-alikes. And if anything in here looks interesting to you, you can click on that link there and it's going to jump to a catalog search, and you can go ahead and place a hold right from there with your library card and PIN number. So I hope you've learned some really great basic information on how to use Novelist Plus today. Have a great day.